Hey, good evening. It's John again playing Immaculate Grid. I'm wearing a football shirt. I'm about to go watch the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football here, taking on the Lions. But first, I figured I'd play a little Immaculate Grid. I am not good at Immaculate Grid on football. I've tried. I'm not good. But I'll give it a shot on baseball, where I'm supposed to know a thing or two. I'm just gonna get right into it. I'll start sharing. Yesterday I had a bunch of old teams, so a lot of good black and white on there. A lot of older players. Could have done a little bit better on that pick there, but that's all right. Half of me was just so curious, like, do people remember how good Rich Aurelio was the season he like had 162 games directly in front of Barry Bonds, while Barry Bonds was hitting 73 home runs? And it turns out, yeah, a lot of people do remember that. So cool. Hit and refresh. Oh, 200 strikeouts. 200 strikeouts for the Rangers again? I've seen that at least twice. This is the third time I've seen that. And every time I go with Mike Minor because he like was right on the verge of it, and a right fielder dropped a ball in foul territory so that he could get there, which I thought was silly. But anyway, selecting him, I guess he's up to 3% now. But yeah, I always struggle with this category. Reds. Let's see. Johnny Cato will work. I'm not sure about Arroyo. Like, I always struggle with this. I'm not so sure about Jose Rio either. Um, all right, so that's gonna be a tough one. I'll play the team categories, and then I'll just to build a little suspense, because I think there'll be some suspense leading into me going for this one. Um, I think Garrett Anderson played a season in Atlanta. I think I want to go with him. Atlanta and Texas, this is an opportunity to plug my book, Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities. What I'm going to go with here is so the chapter is Baseball's Best Seasons by Interlopers, where I just go position by position, like a great year by a player who was only with the team for 1 year. For the Braves, I kind of cheated. I used Mark Teixeira because he was traded at the trade deadline in back-to-back seasons, 2007, 2008. Um, and he played basically a full season and 158 games and great numbers, as you would expect from Teixeira at that point in time. However, I'm not going to go with him. I'm going to go with, sorry, this is for this one. Yeah, I need to make sure I do this right. Atlanta and Angels. Yeah, so I could go with Teixeira on either of these, but I'm going to go with Casey Kotchman here because he was traded for Teixeira. And that was not a good trade because the Braves gave up I think I want to say it was Andrews, Elvis Andrews, Natalie Feliz, I believe Matt Harrison was in that deal. They get Teixeira for a calendar year, and then they flip him for Casey Kotchman. So, and they didn't even make the playoffs with Teixeira. So Teixeira played great though. Casey Kotchman takes 2%. That was a long-winded story for 2%, but that's okay. For this one, I'm going to go with one of my favorite names because I just like how it rolls. Otobi. Oh, gotta spell it right. Otobi McDowell. He played for both teams. He takes 1%. Let's see. Figure Torrey Hunter is going to be really popular down here for Angels and Twins. Let's see. What do we think of Gary Gaetti? Takes 2%. Okay. So I haven't gotten any really good ones so far. But I've been, lowish in the single digits. Nothing crazy yet. Um, let's see here. Reds, Braves. What do we think of Ernie Lombardi? Lombardi. And I'm wearing a Packers shirt, and he was Coach of the Green Bay Packers. Won the first two Super Bowls. That's an appropriate one to play with the Packers playing tonight. And he takes 0.1%. And of course, for Twins and Reds, because I could have used this player here, but I was able to get a good percentage here. Twins and Reds, who do you think I'm going to go with? Twins used to be the Senators. I'm going Al Simmons. He takes 0.2%. It's starting to creep up a little bit. He barely played for the Reds, and he didn't play very long for the Senators either. So, I mean, I know it's a low score, but I think people are starting to catch on to how prolific Al Simmons is for old school teams. And then let's see here, Twins and Rangers. Think, I think that Joe Nathan works, right? Bart Does Bartolo Colon work? Did he like swing by Texas on his way out the door? I know he played in Atlanta briefly. He was with both these teams briefly. Obviously, at Angels for a while, so he would have worked down here. I don't, I don't remember. I don't think Texas. Now I'm starting to doubt that. I don't think Texas played in. But I can go with an old favorite, Otis Nixon, who also would have worked, I guess, here as well. He goes 0.6%. All right, so I was able to get three under 1%. And now I need a red, Cincinnati Red, over 200 strikeouts. And I'm trying to think, is there anyone like really old school I could go with? Hmm. For the Angels, I think the right balance of age or of like, recency is going to be and beat me being sure because I don't know 200 strikeouts very well. I'm going to go Mark Langston. Nah, Mark Langston didn't do it. I know he did with the Mariners. I think he led the league in strikeouts with the Mariners, I'm pretty sure. But I guess he had to be a crafty lefty by the time he made it to the Angels. I was pretty sure on that too. All right, well, let's go Johnny Cato and get our 8 out of 9. That was really bad, 30%. All right, let's see. So there were 11 choices. Ohtani was one. Of course, okay, what I should have done is Nolan Ryan. I don't know why I didn't like just immediately gravitate towards Nolan Ryan. I knew Minor right away, so I could have grafted off that kind of and figured on Nolan Ryan with the Angels because he that's where he had his biggest strikeout seasons. So Finley works. Frank Tanana, I think I should have gotten. Dean Chance is just like I knew he won the Cy Young Award that year. Phenomenal year. Broke up Sandy Koufax's streak of Cy Young Awards. But I mean, I, I had no idea how many strikeouts he had. 207, as it turns out. Barely got there. Tanana was a big strikeout guy. I should have gotten. I knew he played for the Angels, and I knew he was a big strikeout guy for a while. Weaver, I probably could have guessed, but and Weaver was in the back of my mind. I just figured it'd be too obvious. Finley, I wasn't sure how many guys he struck out. Looks like these. I mean, he had much better seasons in the early '90s. Um, Finley did, but it was later that he started striking out a lot more. Probably just the environment of the time. And then for the Reds, since I picked a really obvious one, let's see, Volquez would have worked. Let's go that way. Noodles Hahn. Great name. Great name. Let's see. Jim Maloney. I'll have to read up on him. Johnny Vandermeer does do it. 202 strikeouts, 1941. Rio did get there. 93 is a big year for Rio. I think he had like 9 WAR that year. Only goes 14-9, but huge season. Tom Seaver should have gotten that. All right. Well, Not my best, but it's still fun to play. 200 strikeouts. A couple of these things. Gold Gloves, 200 strikeouts. I gotta just sit down and just look at them a few times to really grasp it. I was able to memorize the whole career of Al Simmons and Kevin Mitchell, so I should be able to get a few Gold Glovers besides the really obvious ones and 200 strikeout people as well. So that's all good. Play tomorrow, and I'll do one of these do one of the rehash games over the weekend. Thanks for playing. Peace.